Now, I am a casual boxing fan. I often watch a lot of the bigger fights, and I follow news surrounding some of the weight divisions, especially news involving British fighters. However, one British ex-boxer has been dancing around flat Earth for some time now. He was a world champion, and his name is Froch. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick word from me about today's sponsor, Ground News. Before we get underway with today's Flat Earth Friday, I was reading about how SpaceX have launched a rescue mission for the 2 astronauts stuck in space. A place which Level Earth Observer, of course, does not believe in. And I was reading this story on Ground News, which was actually founded by former NASA engineer called Harleen Kaur, who actually worked on the James Webb Telescope. Now, Ground News combines stories and articles from thousands of outlets, local and national, all in one place, so readers can see the full picture of what's being reported around the world. Now, as you can see here, Ground News shows you any political leanings for each publication, and in this instance we can see that it's mostly centre driven, with 350 total news sources. Now, for every story you get a quick visual breakdown of all the news outlets covering it, their political bias, how factual the source is, which entity owns the source, and which countries are covering the story. You can also click on any of the headlines to read the story from its original source. Now, the best thing, of course, is that you can develop a well-rounded worldview, see every side of every story, with access to international perspectives that are hard to find. So then you can make informed decisions where you can read, watch and share the best information available. So go to ground.news/Simon to stay fully informed on breaking news, compare coverage and avoid media bias. Or subscribe through my link in the description below for 40% off unlimited access if you support the mission and find it as useful as I do. Right, on with today's video, which, as I said at the start, is about former super middleweight world champion Froch. Now, he was being interviewed and the topic of space and Earth came up. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Here we go. If you were offered the chance to fly to Mars on a SpaceX mission for free, would you be on board?
SpaceX?
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would, mate. All this stuff crashes and burns, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does seem he hasn't got the best record.
What are they on about? SpaceX has had 422 successful Falcon 9 launches and only 3 failures. And on top of that, when they've launched crewed missions, none of them have had catastrophic failures. This is amusing, hearing 2 guys who know nothing about spaceflight write it all off in the space of 2 sentences.
Well, just hypothetically, you can definitely get to Mars. Whether you can get back or not, 50-50.
I don't like the question, you can definitely get to Mars. Where's Mars?
Where's Mars right now? Well, it's currently in the sky around the constellation of Cancer and approximately 102 million kilometres away.
Allegedly, about
Allegedly
600,000 miles.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
600,000 miles? 63 million miles is more like it. This guy's making stuff up as he goes along.
So, at the minute, we can't go back to, if you think we've already been there, which I'm not so sure, just based on evidence and a bit of reading I've done.
Evidence and a bit of reading that you've done. Well, that's it, everyone. That's settled. We didn't go to the moon because Froch has done a bit of reading. Dear, oh dear. And let me guess, you got some of that evidence from YouTube, didn't you? And also, we have gone back to the moon. We went back 5 times after Apollo 11, and multiple countries have landed multiple craft on the moon since. Okay, they weren't crewed, but they still got there. And of course, we're going back to the moon on the Artemis missions, hopefully very soon.
To the moon.
To the moon, which is 237,000 kilometres or miles away. So not as far away as the Mars is alleged to be. So, if we could attempt to get to Mars, I would love to jump on that shuttle and go up there, because what I want to do is I want to get my iPhone out, I want to take a picture of this spherical Earth, I want to see the Earth in its whole beauty and take a picture of it.
Right.
So I'd be up for that.
Now, from that response, it's quite clear that Carl has an opinion regarding the shape of the Earth. Now, Carl could probably afford a seat on board Blue Origin's New Shepard flight. Why doesn't he do that? and then just take a photo?
Okay.
Definitely, but I just don't think we can get up there. I don't think we can leave here.
I see.
I think it's an enclosed system.
Right.
And I don't think we can get out of it.
That's another way of him saying that he thinks there's a dome, isn't it? It's like he believes all that nonsense, he just doesn't want to say it.
And that's why we're struggling to leave now.
So if you were offered the opportunity, you'd be up there. Just to prove yourself that you live.
I'd love to go far enough away from planet Earth
to be able to see it.
To be able to see it in its entirety. Because any image I've ever seen of planet Earth is always CGI.
Right.
Which basically means it's a cartoon.
See.
It's computer generated.
That statement right there is patently false. He thinks that, but he is completely wrong. I do worry about the authoritative manner in which he made that statement. He thinks that that is actually true, doesn't he? Oh dear. This has got Dunning-Kruger written all over it.
So I'd love to do that, so yes, I'd be up for it.
So yes.
But I won't hold my breath, because I don't think it's happening in my lifetime.
Yeah, that's probably the thing, isn't it?
Even if it is possible.
Maybe
which is really interesting.
Because
why haven't we gone back to the moon in over 50 years?
I'd say it's pretty much all down to finances. No one's pumped enough money into it. But that will soon change, mark my words.
They say it's not worth the money.
It's not worth it, but really, you've been to the moon, it's not worth the money to go back. How much does NASA get funded every day?
Yeah.
Do you know?
No.
Hundreds of millions.
Also wrong. If you break down the chunk of the almost $25 billion they received in 2024 from the annual budget, NASA get around $68 million per day, not hundreds of millions. That's a 2% cut, by the way, from 2023. And not all of that, by the way, is allocated to getting to the moon. The entire Saturn V program, the rocket that got Apollo to the moon, in today's money would cost $50 billion. That's double their budget today.
It's big money, big money.
Don't want to go to the moon to prove all the doubters wrong.
I think they've sent a probe to Mars, haven't they?
They've tried.
They've
tried to send quite a lot of things out.
Yeah.
They haven't just tried, there are currently 2 active rovers on Mars. This photo here was taken by the rover Perseverance. Literally everything you are saying is wrong.
God separated the waters and the heavens using the firmament dome. That's what it says in the Bible.
And there we go. He's a biblical flat earther. That explains a hell of a lot.
I'm not a deeply religious man, but I do read the Bible.
You shouldn't get your earth science facts from there, my friend.
So whether or not we can leave this, like I said, what would be an enclosed system or not, is still up for debate.
It absolutely is not. We can leave the system, and we do multiple times a month. And of course, not forgetting the astronauts and cosmonauts on board the ISS.
I've not seen anybody. Richard Branson's tried it, crashed and burned. Elon Musk's tried it. He sent that. What was that car he sent up there?
A Tesla. And that was 6 years ago. SpaceX have come a long way since then.
Was it a Tesla? The spaceman in it?
Yeah.
That looked as moody as you like, that did. That was gone as well. That shot off into some asteroid belt, apparently.
Well, not quite. It is a heliocentric orbit that passes the orbit of Mars, where it currently is right now. It will pass Earth again in 2091.
Suspicious. Well, anyway.
Interesting.
But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Carl Froch, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Nice one. Cheers.
Look, Carl, I hold your boxing opinions in very high regard. But when it comes to Earth science, rocket launches and space in general, I unfortunately do not. Well, there we go, everyone. What do we think of Carl Froch's interview there? Let me know in the comments below. As I say, we're all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thanks so much for watching today. It is truly appreciated. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video too if the feeling takes you. That would be tremendously appreciated. Just enough time for a word from me about today's sponsor, Ground News. Go to ground.news/Simon to stay fully informed on breaking news, compare coverage and avoid media bias, or subscribe through my link in the description to sign up for 40% off unlimited access. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for some more geo hunting on Saturday session. See you then.